Hey, Good Fox here. So today we got the Rookie Premier rankings. I'm going to rank who I think my top Rookie Premier cards are, what I think you should do in order. Now, this is all got a caveat. If you're getting the GOAT edition, I think you need to factor in what GOAT you're going to get. So if you get Barry Sanders, don't do Fournette. You know, you don't want two NAT cards at the same position. And then you get an elite player. So if you also get like Aaron Rodgers as your elite player with the GOAT edition, don't be out here getting Deshaun Watson. So manage that and really plan ahead what you want to do with that if you're going to get GOAT. And you really should get GOAT because or else you got to wait 3 days to play the game. But so factor that in. But that's everybody's your own situation. So do that personally. Just move down the list for what I have here. Or if you're a big fan of one more than the other, then do what you're going to do anyways. But here are my rankings of what I think you should do for each position. All right, starting off with number 11, I think Mr. Bowles, a left tackle. Now, the reason I have a left tackle here, now let's switch over to take a look at the stats, because it's a left tackle. Now, I don't think he's a bad player, I don't think anything, but in MUT, and this is all based on MUT, not how they're going to the NFL, although it's a little bit of mixture there. If I think they're going to get Rookie of the Year, they'll probably be a little higher. But Bowles, because Madden doesn't upgrade linemen that often, and we don't see that many linemen in Madden, I don't think he's going to get a lot of upgrades before January. Now, remember, these cards are only upgraded through January, so the all-rookie promo won't factor into these cards at all. Yeah, so I put him last because, you know, offensive linemen get no love, and you're not going to get any love from me either. All right, moving back. Number 10, I don't know if I should say it before I put it on the screen, but here, I'm just going to put it on the screen right now. Sean Watson, quarterback. He's not going to start. Let's go to stats here quick. I can't move quick enough. All right. He's not going to start. I think Savage is starting unless Watson wins in the preseason, but got good stats, good speed, a mobile quarterback, so he's not going to really get upgrades that much. And here's the thing about positions, the quarterback position. EA puts out a lot of quarterback cards because they're, you know, the biggest stars in the NFL. So the replacement value from this card, Watson, even if he starts, even if he does pretty well, to another quarterback isn't that high. Now, you got to love the 90 speed on this 17 card, and he'll be mobile next year too, which is really nice. But, you know, when you got like the Cam Newtons and the other mobile quarterbacks, I don't know if there's a lot of value in it. I don't think he'll get improved much. We might get a promo with him, but I think there are better options going forward. Let's move on to who I think should be next. So for Watson, just because not really rookie quarterbacks don't often turn out to be Dak or Russell Wilson. So next up is TJ Watt, left outside linebacker. You might be like, oh, Steelers hater. Now, I am a Steelers fan, but I don't think TJ Watt gets a lot of upgrades, and he's stuck kind of in the same thing as the quarterback. Edge rushers in MUT are very cheap. Very, very cheap. And that also knocks down a guy we'll get to in a little bit. But just because there's, you know, a lot of them, and it's a weird quirk about the market, and I don't know why. Like, we'll probably get like a Clowney card and maybe a Vaughn card, and then we'll get them frequently enough that it's going to crash these prices. Like, so even though he's well statted, he's a finesse move edge rusher with okay speed here, I don't think that's going to be a lot of coins. There's not going to be a lot of value in this card. So that's why Mr. Watt is rated a little bit lower than a Steelers fan you think would have him. All right, next up, strong safety Jamal Adams. Now, the problem with oh, what the I lost him. Uh-oh, did I not have a Jamal Adams? Let me see if I can't bring it up quick. All right, here it is. Now, the problem with Jamal Adams is he's on a kind of a dumpster fire of a team. So when teams aren't winning, their cards aren't likely to be upgraded much, even though he's probably going to be like a shining beacon on a hill. I don't. Rookie strong safeties, they have a hard time too entering the league. Like even Clinton Dix wasn't that great. He was good, but not great during his rookie season. So I can potentially see him upgraded, but I think you got better options ahead of you for the strong safety. All right, moving on. Next up, hey, I guess I'm giving some love to defensive linemen, a little love to linemen. Jonathan Allen, I have him here because of his talent, and maybe you could start 2 defensive tackles is why I have him above Adams. Now, defensive tackles aren't very well, they're not very pricey in MUT, so it might be, I might have him one spot too high here, but I do love the talent, I do love what he can do, disruption, but I worry that maybe that's one place too high. But otherwise, Adams here, as if I could find. Yep, Jonathan Allen here. Switch over to his stats. Did I go over the card art yet in 18? I didn't. It's different. Let me show that quick. See this little thing up here? That's the card art in 18. I'm sure a lot of other YouTubers put out videos on this, so take a look at theirs. But it looks a little different and fancy. But I'm kind of jumping from place to place. All right, Allen. Good power move, good block shed. EA respects the block shed, which is very important for a defensive lineman. A little bit underweight if weight plays more into effect next year. I haven't heard whether it will or not for linemen, but 295. It's not 330. So he can move. He can do it all. We'll see if he gets upgraded much, but it's still a defensive tackle. You'll need 2 of them. He'll be good for a DT2 if you play like a 3-4. All right, go back to the notepad. All right, next up on the list, an absolute physical freak from Alabama, O.J. Howard. All right, now, O.J. here. Got a pretty good team. I wonder if they keep the chems consistent next year. If he gets playmaker next year, that's kind of cool. I don't think he will. But he's fast. He's tall. From Texas, remember what Texas could scroll up. Texas said on the podcast that high point passing is back next year. The EA guys have said it's nerfed, but Texas said he played it and it's still pretty darn good. So you want a tall tight end with speed that also can run block a little. So 84 run block with 91 speed at 6'6". That's pretty glitchy. And Howard, hopefully he can catch on and latch on to the offense quickly. I worry about rookie receivers. You know, he's tight end, but he's, you know, a receiving threat. But moving forward, I do think O.J. Howard might get an upgraded card. Maybe Halloween. Maybe he's feared. Most feared we can get an O.J. Howard upgrade. I'm not sure he'll get a team of the week, though. All right, moving back to Notepad. And now this is all, you know, this all kind of banks on these guys staying healthy, too. Like, this is going to be completely wrong if one of them gets injured, but that should go without saying. Next up, Myles Garrett. Now, Myles Garrett, you're like, what? Why is Myles Garrett the best, the physical freak, the best player in the draft this low on the list? Well, it goes back to that edge rusher, what I said about TJ Watt. Same thing with Garrett. This is a 4-3 defensive end. One, let me go to his stats here. One is that being the 4-3 defensive end, they're oftentimes lower rated than outside linebackers that share similar skill sets. Now, just because EAC's right end, they're like, oh, we got to lower his speed. There's no reason for his speed to be lower than many outside linebackers, but they have it here. But they got a good block shed on him this year and power move, which will hopefully carry forward to next year. And they gave him pretty decent traits over here. These are basically ideal pass rush traits. So if they keep the traits consistent year to year, he's a great card. And he will get upgraded. But, again, an edge rusher. That's why he's lowered. An edge rushers weirdly go cheap. All right, back to the old notepad. Next up, now we're getting into skill position players. Marshawn Lattimore. Let me get over on Chrome. All right, so 6'1" cornerback. They gave him 96 speed. You gotta love that. You gotta basically cornerbacks next year. I think I heard cover 3 is gonna be somewhat of the meta next year. So having a speed cornerback that you can press the line of scrimmage that can also get back. Now his speed won't be 96 next year. Don't get me wrong on that. But a physical freak at corner is kind of what you need. We'll see what play rec and awareness really play into the game. You know, 74 hit power is not bad. Block shed's really low here though. That's a major concern. But, you know, the Saints, again, a little bit of the Jamal Adams, if the defense isn't that great, but maybe he gets a few picks because Drew Brees somehow takes the lead in games, very Breeze-ish, and then the opponents pass a lot and Lattimore picks it off. So you know he's going to be starting, and that's why I got him on the list. And the cornerback, because you use so many cornerbacks on your roster, like he can be cornerback 4, cornerback 5 down the road if he doesn't get upgraded for a little bit. But that's why I go Lattimore right where I have him. All right, notepad. Who do I have? At number 3, I have Corey Davis, wide receiver. 6'3". Let me get over here. 6'3", 212, and fast. One speed slower than Lattimore they gave him, but still. Tall, fast receiver. This is Madden. High point passes, sideline passes, beautiful. Run block's even pretty solid at 70. So, Corey Davis, number 3. I don't know how you can argue against Corey Davis being this high on the list. Going back to notepad. All right. And my number 2 ranking during this video, Leonard Fournette. Now, like I said earlier, if you're going to get, say, Barry Sanders as your GOAT player, don't go with Leonard Fournette. You don't want 2 NAT running backs. But what I like about this Leonard Fournette, he's pretty tall, sort of tall, 6'1", just above average for a running back, 230 pounds, which is great. He's a trucking back. I do believe our running will be similar in 18 as it was in 17 because I just tweaked it in 17, and similar to like the pass catching system we got in 16 that carried it forward to 17, they were carried forward to 18. You know, possession, rack, spec catches. This card is going to be able to run dudes over with his high trucking, decent speed, acceleration, agility. He's got, I mean, he doesn't have much on catching, but overall, I think this Leonard Fournette is going to be great right away. And I know there's like a timeshare in Jacksonville, but fear not. Like, it's just like Henry got this year, got a bunch of cards, even though he didn't necessarily deserve them. Like, his most feared card was probably the most dominant running back in the game for a little bit. Leonard Fournette is going to be right there with him for decent speed and good trucking. So that's why I put Leonard Fournette number 2, as you saw in my waiting room pick. And number 1, Taiwan number 1. All right, so that's the ranking of my rookie premier cards. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, who you're gonna get, and if I was mistaken about any of my assumptions or you think I'm wrong, yeah, let me know. I always try to get better. All right, thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.